Hi, welcome to the Leadership Doctor, where we talk about all things leadership. I'm Dr. Christine Fusilier. Today, I wanted to share with you the thought of reflection. As a leader, it's and you don't necessarily have to be a leader, but it's important in leadership that you reflect. You do a lot of reflecting on things that are happening throughout the day, some of the decisions that you made, how they impacted other people. Good, bad, or ugly, take some time to reflect on how can you do better, what you think you did well. I'm going to introduce you guys a journal. It's a 90-day reflection journal that's a spinoff off of my book, The Leadership Rex, also available on Amazon. But it's a journal that is outlined with just little thoughts, words, quotes to give you a moment to take pause and to kind of reflect on that. So let's look at a few of them, and then you can, play along at home. And if just write your responses down. So one of them is describe authentic leadership. What does that look like to you? What does it mean to be authentic? Have you been authentic? Are you authentic? Do you think the people that you're leading perceive you as being authentic? So that's one. And you take some time to reflect on that, answer the questions. And if you feel like, well, maybe I am authentic, but I don't think people perceive me as being that way, then it's an opportunity for growth and improvement. Another one is, are you happy in a leadership role and why? So this is one of my favorites because often people are put in leadership roles and they may not necessarily want to be or are prepared to be. And you see this a lot in call centers sometimes where there's productivity, a person who can get the numbers, then they are either promoted, elevated, or placed into a leadership role. And while they may be able to pull in the volume, there's a piece of people skills that are missing, and they don't have the ability to lead the people. So when you're promoting people as a leader, keep that in mind. Because someone can get good numbers does not necessarily make them a good leader. And that's often how a lot of people get placed into leadership roles by default of the numbers or productivity. And then when you're answering this question, are you happy in a leadership role? Yes or no, and answer why or why not. That's another good one. And I'll just look at a few more of these. Who is the best leader you've had and why? That's a good one. So we would like to think that we emulate our leaders. In many cases, we do. We emulate their behavior. We're very inspired and motivated by them. So think of a leader that you feel was your best leader and why they were. I've had a few over my careers that and one of the things that stood out, what made them good leaders is that they empowered me, they trusted me, they gave me autonomy, and they allowed me to use the skill set that they hired me for. So those are some of the things that made them the best leader for me, and they took what I brought to the table very seriously. So think about the best leader you had and why they were considered the best leader. And here is another one. As a leader, I am expected to do what? Often as leaders, we don't know what's the expectation. We just know we're supposed to lead people. What does that mean? And so sometimes having a conversation. I think I mentioned a few episodes ago that I do what I call step-up meetings, where I meet with the directs of my directs. And when I say directs, I mean employees. So the people who work on my team, the people who are reporting to them are the people I do step-up meetings with. And I do that for a few reasons. I do that so I can get to know the people who are getting the work done, basically. It's the steady eddies and maybe the people who they're the nuts and bolts of the organization. And those, you got to know who's on your team. And then you get to learn about the different skill sets on your team. And once you learn the skill sets, you may see opportunities as they're trying to navigate through their career, opportunities for them to have some career growth. So it's important to get to know the people on your team at all levels. So when I was saying that, at the question of what do you expect of your leaders, or what am I expected as a leader, then you say, ask the people. They'll tell you, what do you expect of me? And when I instructed classes, one of the questions I would ask is, what do you expect from me as your instructor? It's kind of like that's your customer, and you want to know how will you make them happy. Same thing as a leader. Your employees, you are their internal customer. They are your internal customer. And you have to provide them with something that's going to help them get better, and they're going to provide you with something to help you get better. So you definitely want to understand what their expectations of you. What could be the expectations of a leader? Some could be, I expect for you to listen. I expect for you to help me navigate through my career. I expect for you to provide training. I expect motivation. I expect for my leader to have my back. So those are things that you may hear when you ask the question, but you have to ask the question. What do you expect of me as your leader? And that should be either your one-on-one sessions you have with them, I call them quality moments, or your step-up meetings that you're having with your team. There should be some conversation to understand what do you expect of me, because we do give them expectations, right? You give them goals. We give them stretch goals. You give them several things that you expect of them. So I think it's only fair that you have them give what they expect of you. And another good way to find out that if you're meeting the expectations is what I call, or not what I call, but something called the 360. And that's when you allow, you do an evaluation on yourself, you allow your directs to do an evaluation on you, and then your manager or your whoever is leading you does one on you. So it's 360. You're getting a 360 degree of your performance. And if you're doing it well, they should all align. And if there's any surprises, then sometimes there's work to do. So, like I said, reflection is key when you're in leadership roles, and this is a 90-day leadership journal, and it gives you a chance as a leader to reflect on questions, quotes, and words that are in this book. And what this should allow you to do is know what you're doing well, know where you need to grow, and learn something new. So I hope you take a moment to pick it up. If not this journal, get a journal and try to start doing some reflection exercises. Also in the back of here, I wanted to mention is there are some exercises where I put leadership action plans. So what's your action plan as a leader? As a leader, what do you want to do? How do you want to grow? And also I have leadership traits, qualities, and skills where you have the opportunity to see where you fall in here and what other ones would you add and or subtract. So again, reflection is a great way to learn and to grow. I hope this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you on my next episode. And remember, our goal here is to make leadership great again.